Hello and welcome to the 72's YouTube channel, where today we're going to be talking about the top 3 managers in the Championship in 2022. So 3 managers each, starting in the Championship. Do you want to get things kicked off, Adam?
Yeah, so number 3 for me, I've gone for Marco Silva. I'm just looking at his win percentage here, wherever he's been. He started off in Storwell, went to Sporting, went to Olympiacos, went to Hull, went to Watford, went to Everton, and now he's at Fulham. And I'm like, just at Sporting Lisbon, he had 53 games, won 31, drew 15, a win percentage of 58%. Went to Olympiacos, won 38 out of his 48 games. And then obviously this is where he came to England. So Hull, I think he actually took Hull down. That was the year they had like Harry Maguire, Andy Robertson in the Prem. But he gave them a fighting chance, and I think that's why deservingly got it. It was strange at Watford, because I'm sure he started off really well. He brought Richarlison in. He was banging the goals in, and then they went off a bit. But it was still good enough to get the job at Everton. Now, Everton wasn't as good. I think the fans got a bit sick of him. Obviously, he went, and now he's at Fulham, where he's just carried on his style of play. It's so exciting. He scores, like, you can say how many goals Fulham have scored this season. It's about, like, it's over 60 or something. And, like, actually, it might be near even 70 in about 27 games, which is just unbelievable. Like, it's unheard of in this league kind of thing. I just think that alone, when you compare him to the rest of the managers, he's got the highest pedigree, I'd say.
Yeah, 70 goals for Fulham in 26 Championship matches this season. So that's your number 3. My number 3, I've gone for Wayne Rooney. Given that his Championship managers in 2022 or this season, I think Wayne Rooney has been a standout manager. He's one of the youngest managers. It's still his first job. What he's had to go through is just unprecedented. Like, you can't think of another manager who's done as well as he has in the situation he's in. His finances are obviously nil. He's been working with a lot of younger players, which he's brought through into the first team, and a lot of them are doing really well. You look at players like Festi Abasele and Luke Plange, but doing that, he's managed to keep the balance between kind of young players, bringing them in and readying them for the future, if, of course, Derby County have one, whilst also getting results on the board. 14 points now, add 21 onto that, which is what they were deducted. You get 35, which would place Derby County in mid-table. So given the situation, given the loyalty that he's shown to the club, I think Wayne Rooney is in the top 3 managers in the Championship this season.
3 hours later.
Yeah, second, I've gone for Chris Wilder. I just think what he's done I know it's the Championship 2022, but I think I'm going to take into account the manager's career kind of thing. And I think what he's done at Sheffield United, taking them from League One at the Championship of the Premier League, getting them 7th or 8th with, let's be honest, the squad was awful. Like, if you go through man for man, that could be, Norwich isn't really helping that case at the moment, but that could be man for man the worst Premier Leagues, whatever. Like, it's literally full of just average, English and Irish players who would make a decent career in the Championship. And he done mint there. And then, obviously, he's went to Middlesbrough. Neil Warnock. Do you know what? Warnock done a mint job, because he brought them, when he came in, they were just outside the relegation zone. Kept them up last season. And then, obviously, fired them. I think they were in the playoffs for a bit this season, or just sniffing around it. And then, obviously, Wilder's came in and he just pushed them on into the playoffs. And I think Middlesbrough will get the playoffs this season, definitely. And to be fair, they're my team to go up, because I think Fulham, Bournemouth, and then Middlesbrough will go up in the playoffs. So I really like what Chris Wilder does, and I think he'll probably get a job in the future in the Premier League again.
Yeah, definitely. If he's not with Middlesbrough in the Premier League in the coming season. So my second choice, I think not a lot of people talk about this guy, but Nathan Jones at Luton Town, I think, is one of the most underrated managers in the Championship. He really is. It was only in 2018 that Nathan Jones took Luton Town from League 2 into League 1. He obviously left during the promotion season from League 1. Season before that was.
He left them top of the league, though, to be fair.
Yeah, they went on to get promoted, didn't they? He took over at Stoke and he came back to Luton Town. Now, when he came back to Luton Town, he kind of had a lot of hearts to win back. You know, a lot of fans weren't too pleased he left and weren't too pleased that he came back. But he's done an incredible job this season. I think they're 11th in the table, and whenever you see Luton Town on Sky Sports, if West Brom aren't playing on a Friday night, they're just so exciting to watch. They've got so many exciting players. Elijah Adebayo and Pelly Rudder-Campanzu, I think, are two quality players that Nathan Jones has brought through and helped progress in the Championship. And you know, we talk about Luton Town going from League Two to the Championship in 3 seasons, and obviously Nathan Jones left midway through that. But should he have stayed, you know, and go on to achieve a bit more with Luton Town, we'd be talking about his achievement in the same kind of bracket as what Eddie Howe achieved at Bournemouth. But Nathan Jones working on the budget he has done, you know, bringing in the players that he has, the recruitment's been spot on. I think he's one of the most underrated managers in the Championship this season.
The thing is, even when he went to Stoke, like data analysts like myself, his underlying numbers were fantastic. The expected goals and the expected goals against, honestly, he was so unlucky. They were right up there, like in the playoffs for them numbers, and it was just individual errors, mistakes at the back, just sloppy finishing that cost him his job in the end. And I think Stoke fans will probably agree with me that had he had a bit more luck, he'd still be there and he'd be succeeding. So yeah, my number one, I absolutely love this man. He goes by the name of Russell Martin, the process king. I just love what he's about. I love managers with a clear identity and that, I suppose, understanding of modern football. And one of my favourite ever quotes by any manager is Russell Martin's, and he was, I think when he was at MK Dons, he went on about a run of losing maybe 3 or 4 games in a row. And he got asked, so Russell, plan B? He went, plan B. What plan B means by the average English bloke is stick someone tall up front and hoof it up with them. He said, I'm not going to do that. He said, the second you do that, your whole process is out the window. You lose the identity, you lose the faith of everyone. And just the way he talks about football is just perfect for me. And I really, really would love to play under him as a footballer. Just his style of play, like even at MK Dons, that's Lee Manning's getting loads of credit at MK Dons, but Russell Martin started that process. I think whichever club Russell Martin goes into, he'll completely realign every position by everyone, like from the marketing team, the media team, to the tea lady. I just feel like he gets them all on board, like, and just the process is from back to front is just perfect. Possession based, touches in the opposition box, through balls, smart passes. He just understands the game really well, and I think he will go on to have the best career out of the Championship, because there's so many managers. I mean, I don't know who you've got number one. I know you discussed to me like Mark Robbins and stuff the other day, and you've said Wayne Rooney. For me, these are managers that get results, but there's not really a process behind it. Whereas Russell Martin, look, do you know the best example I always say is Nuno at Wolves. Like, it's just turning up at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, leaving at 5 p.m. You might have a win, you might have a draw, like, and you base whether or not you've succeeded based on the actual result. Russell Martin won't do that. Like, he cares more about the process, and the process in the end will work. And I think that's why he will go to the Premier League, and I think he'll succeed at a very, very good club.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with any of that. I think Russell Martin's definitely a manager who has a long-term idea wherever he is, MK Dons or Swansea, and I do think Swansea will come good next season. But for me,
that's it.
Yeah,
I said this season they'll finish, if they can finish 16th, they can have 2 good transfer windows. Next season they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, they just need a few more players, don't they? But one criticism I might have of Russell Martin is that he's perhaps too insistent in the way that he wants to play football. You know, he came into Swansea City, and straight away there was reports of players leaving. I think Jamal Lowe went to Bournemouth, didn't he? Because he didn't want to. He didn't fancy the style of play at Swansea, and then players like Jay Fortin, who've just been completely exiled by Martin, but was one of Steve Cooper's best players last season. So, but you got to make them tough decisions to be a good manager, haven't you?
Mm-hmm. But again, I think his insistence is a positive because he makes the job for a recruitment team perfect because you know exactly what players you need to look for. But now, who've you gone for number one then?
My number one is Mark Warburton, QPR manager. Now, one of the longest serving managers in the Championship, and I think why I've chosen Mark Warburton as my number one manager in the Championship is because of like you mentioned with Martin, because of the long-term things he's achieved at QPR. 10 years ago, you look at QPR signing players like Jose Basingwa, Park Ji-sung, Loic Remy, all these players, whether they did good or not, cost so much money and so much wages. But QPR today, they're such a different club. They look towards youth. They look towards recruiting young players, developing them. And I think everything about QPR at the minute is just heading in the right direction. They're such a more sustainable club than they were. And Mark Warburton, he's got his own identity. I think he's a real good attacking manager. If there's one criticism of him at QPR, it's that his defence has always been a bit leaky. I mean, it's improved this season, but I think if you put Mark Warburton in charge of, say, Fulham, he'll get even more goals than what Marco Silva's getting out of him. I think he's the best attacking manager, the best overall manager in the Championship. And is it third season now at QPR? Each season he's got better. Each season the players have got better. You look at players like Ilias Chair, who I mentioned in the Team the Season episode, one of the best technically gifted footballers in the Football League or outside the Premier League. So for me, Mark Warburton, one of the best the best manager in the Championship this season.
Nice. I mean, just thinking, who've we left out from there? I think Bournemouth fans, actually, to be fair,
notable mentions.
One of my mates is a Bournemouth fan. He's getting a bit sick of Scott Parker. He said just too leaky at the back, costing great goals, silly goals.
Same criticism of him at Fulham, wasn't it? That he was just too inconsistent. But if I was to pick another manager, it'd be Mark Robbins. I think he's done a quality job at Coventry.
Yeah, there's Mark Robbins. Tony Mowbray's done a good job. Again, Tony Mowbray's Tony Mowbray. You know what you get with him.
Blackpool.
Yeah. But, even Ryan Lowe, I think he could end up being one of the best managers in the Championship. But yeah, obviously Cooper at Forest as well.
Didn't you mention Carlos Corberán on the?
From Huddersfield. You know this? I don't know why I didn't actually end up going with him. I just think I kind of went with outside the boxes picks anyway. So I thought we'll just sneak in. We'll just get in Chris Wilder there to bring me back down to earth a bit. So, but no, that's the top three. I think it's two good top threes as well.
Two good top threes, two different top threes, 6 different managers, the best managers in the Championship. So, as ever, if you've watched the video and you've liked it, drop us a like, give us a subscribe. Tell us in the comments below who you think the best manager in the Championship in 2022 is. And join us very soon for another episode on the 72's brand new YouTube channel.